Greetings, humans, and for the first time in a very long time, welcome back to another video. I could give you a very long explanation as to why it's been the best part of a year since I last recorded the video, but it wouldn't be overly interesting, and it would probably make this video about 5 times the length it needs to be. So I'll let you guys create some wonderfully exciting theories as to why I've not been filming. But let's be honest, the majority of it is just that this academic year has been crazy, and marking maths with POM wouldn't be the most interesting channel in existence, nor would creating maths documents, or why do none of my students use full stops. So instead, I've just been doing a crazy amount of marking and a crazy amount of hospital visits. But that bit's boring. Other bits to apologise for? Apologies for the fact that I am clearly really rather warm. The hydration station is definitely a good idea today. Everyone, please remember to drink. We are currently in a heatwave, but my window is shut because my neighbours are making the most of heatwaves by using colourful language outside that would not be YouTube friendly. So instead, I'm melting. I tried using the fan, but with the fan, you could hear the fan, but you could not hear me. So, I'm just a little warm. However, getting on with it, since my last video, I've taken up a new hobby, which is quilting, which, may I add, I'm still not very good at. However, it was the reason why I desperately wanted to do this book review and why I'm back to do this book review, because I found this dude. And yes, in the last year I still haven't got round to flipping my camera. However, 100 paper-pieced quilt blocks. This is a David and Charles book, so when I saw it on YouTube, I knew it was actually... No, not YouTube, what am I about? On Amazon, I knew it would be decent quality, because one thing about the David and Charles books is that they always are good. And, you know, this one hasn't failed. Not only is it massive... I mean, it's got 100 designs in, so it would be. But it's also, you can find bonus stuff on the website. It comes with some ideas for what you might want to do with the finished squares you've made. I'll be going through it in a sec. I just wanted to quickly say, this isn't written by a single person. It's edited by Sarah Callards, as you can see at the top. However, it's got 11 designers, so I'm quickly going to just give all of those a quick name because it says it at the back. So, we've got these designers, Sarah Ashford, who hosts the annual Great British Quilter Instagram Challenge and podcast, which is now in its 2nd series. That was not easy to say. Too many letters. Jo Carter is primarily a soft toy designer, and Jo's quilt patterns have appeared in several magazines, including Love Patchwork and Quilting. Lindsay Chico is a self-taught sewer who loves sharing her makes on Instagram, and occasionally sells patterns on Etsy. I'm going to look that up afterwards. Kerry Green is a quilter and dressmaker with a vintage aesthetic, who loves bright and happy colours, strong graphic shapes, and also mixing feed sack fabrics with modern prints. Kerry also works as a social media manager for crafty companies, which is quite a cool job, may I add. Joanne Hart is addicted to paper piecing. Jo designs patterns to share with fellow sewerholics, available at Unicorn Hart. Oh! I've used that website, did not realise that was the same person. Maybe you can't, it may be obvious, this is actually the first time I'm reading the back here. We've got Monica Henry, who's a modern quilt pattern designer. Monica loves simple, bright and fun designs. She hopes to inspire quilting confidence through her patterns and tutorials. Christy Lee is a paper-piece pattern and quilting fabric designer. Christy's designs celebrate her love of rainbow, geometric design and colour, which, may I say, I love because I like everything bright. Charisse Randall. An author and designer, Charisse has designed women's apparel for over 15 years and spends her day designing, sewing and quilting patterns. I'm going to apologise in advance because I'm almost certainly going to say some of this wrong. Juliet van der Heijden is a self-taught quilter. Juliet loves the thrill of translating an idea or picture into paper piece design, and many more designs can be found in her book Animal Quilts. Ooh, I've actually got that one on my floor. I just haven't used it yet. Susan White, a lover of all things craft. More of Susan's paper piece patterns can be found on Etsy at Quilty Pie. I like that. And Kitty Wilkin. With 3 small kids, Kitty finds her only sewing time is after bedtime, hence her blog, The Night Quilter, all about her stitching projects and creating her own patterns. So those are the 11 designers responsible for these 100 blocks. Given the size of the book, I'm not going to go through them all. However, I am going to show you this, because all of these have been created from the book. So it seems like a good way of showing that these patterns are not only really, really pretty, but also usable. This was my first time paper piecing and quilting. So I think it does a fairly good job of proving that this book is pretty idiot-proof. You know, if you are a first-time designer, you can make stuff from this, and it will look somewhat decent. I accept there are mistakes. However, as in mistakes in what I've done, not what they've done, because I am the daft donut, not them. However, this is also designed for my niece who's not a year old yet, so she's not going to know that there are mistakes, and by the time she's old enough to see the mistakes, I'm hoping this thing will have nostalgic value so she won't care. So, without any further ado, we've got a campfire. I really like the campfire. That one did nearly cause a slight moment, but again, that was on me because I was not paying attention and managed to sew the wrong sides together. So, that was just a certified noodle moment. This guy, Grapefruit, which I loved that pattern. I had great fun with that. Ironic since I actually can't eat grapefruit, but hey, it was pretty, the pattern was cool, and I love it. The donut, I made a slight mistake on the donut, but it still looks pretty. I loved the pear. The pear just made me really, really happy to make. So I'm probably going to make another one for no apparent reason other than it was fun. Lightning. Important to only have one lightning on the quilt because lightning only strikes once, or lightning never strikes twice. Which may I add is totally wrong, and whoever said that clearly doesn't really do science, because, you know, that's why we have those lightning conductor things, which get struck an awful lot, so, but hey, it probably wasn't supposed to be taken as literal life advice. The apple. Again, I love the apple. You can see the random line of mistake, but it's cute, it's fruit, and it's awesome. The raindrop was the first one I made, so I think that shows that this is pretty idiot-proof. You know, that looks decent, and it was the first thing I did. Moving down a row, we have our ice lolly, which was the last one I made, I think. Popcorn. I like the popcorn. And a cloud, which, in retrospect, I probably should have made the background a little darker, but hey, we can live with it. Moving down again, we have a hat. Sorry, knocked over a lamp there. And a strawberry, which looks better that way round. The leaves don't show up overly well on the background I chose, but again, that was me error, not them error. A lemon, because when life gives you lemons, make a quilt out of it. Rainbow, which was another one of my absolute favourites to make. The next one I'm planning on doing a pastel rainbow with a bright background, just to switch things up. The pineapple, I was terrified to try because I was like, wow, that looks really complicated, because that's a lot of little bits. However, when I tried it, it turns out it was actually super easy and really fun to make. So, you know, I guess moral of the story, don't be frightened to try new things, because it may be way easy and then you might feel like an absolute donut for being scared of it in the first place. Then we have a love heart. I like the love heart. That one was really, really easy to do. The watermelon, I love, 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 love. Again, that was one that I really enjoyed just making. So, and again, looks like it was going to be really complicated, but it wasn't. I realised that I do not have space to actually hold all of this up at once to be visible, but obviously it's not finished yet. I need to do the actual, rest of the quilting. But, in case anyone's wondering, Scotty Dog fabric on the back from Online Fabrics UK. Yeah, apologies for just like yeeting that into the background. I did make another couple of squares from the book, but then realised that I didn't have enough backing fabric if I used the rest of them, and it made the quilt look a bit uneven. So didn't include those in the finished design, so they are hanging around to be part of the next project, whatever that may be. Going to quickly grab this dude back up, and I'm going to give you a really quick list of what is in this. For a start, we have a really rather long explanation of how to do all of this. So, paper piecing techniques goes from like page 7 to page 16. So it just explains all of how to do this, which is really helpful, again, if you're like me and have never done it before and are thinking, flipping heck, that looks complicated, why on earth did I buy this? Because it turns out it's way easier than it looks. You just need to have confidence. So, when I can find... come on, we must have a contents in here. I'm just being a donut, but... Nope, I think I'm going to have to go through the long way, unless... unless we have an index at the back. Yep, no, that is going to take a while to do. So, going to show you very carefully. I'm going to show you the finished designs. We've got a shed by Sarah Ashford. And a tree, also Sarah Ashford. I really should have made that. That would have been the most beginner-friendly pattern there. Kitty Wilkin and a leaf, which I can almost guarantee you could also use to be a feather. A toadstool by Lindsay Chico, which would be really, really cute if you wanted anything like fairy themed. A tulip, also by Kitty. And a violet by Kitty. We're now on to our next section. I really should have written down what their sections were. I don't know if this is still garden or if this is into creatures, but either way, got Retro Bloom, which I printed out to make, but didn't make. A Beehive by Joanne Hart. Christy Lee, Birdhouse. A feather. Okay, turns out you don't need to use a leaf as a feather. We do have an actual feather in here, which is Joanne Hart. A Puppy by Jo Carter. There are some really cute animal designs in here. I just didn't have a light brown to hand at the time. We have a Kitten by Jo Carter. A Crocodile, which is Juliet van der Heijden. Apologies to her if I'm saying her name totally wrong. I'm dyslexic and not great with names. A Dragonfly by Lindsay Chico. A Butterfly, also by Lindsay. An Owl by Juliet. And a frog, also by Juliet. I like the fact that that dude looks like he's thinking. He's probably eyeing up a fly, but to me it just looks like he's really intently thinking. Puffin by Juliet. And our next one, the raccoon, is also Juliet and adorable. Got a ladybird by Christy Lee. Firefly by Lindsay. Burger by Joanne. Milkshake, Lindsay. Pretzel by Monica Henry. Pizza Slice by Joanne. Lemonade by Lindsay. Ice Cream by Lindsay. Sorry, I'm having told this quite awkwardly, so you can't see the actual pattern on the other side. The Popcorn by Monica. Her popcorn is way neater than mine was. Funnily enough, she designed it. Pie by Susan. Apologies for my squeaky chair, by the way. Needs some WD-40. Lollipop by Monica Henry. Cocktail by Susan Ashford. No, Sarah Ashford, sorry. Avocado by Monica. Smoothie by Joanne. Oh, that's really pretty. Popsicle by Lindsay. And Sunglasses by Charisse. Cloud by Susan. Umbrella by Lindsay. Raindrop by Susan. Lightning, also Susan. Woolly Hat by Kerry Green. Let's see. Heart by Lindsay. Shamrock, also Lindsay. Easter egg, also Lindsay. Pumpkin by Kerry. New Home by Sarah. Gift box, Lindsay. Reindeer by Christy, which is really cute. Festive tree, Lindsay. Angel by Joanne. Stocking, Lindsay. Bauble, Joanne. Sugar Ball by Kerry. Jam Jar by Lindsay. Teapot, Monica Henry. Coffee mug by Kerry Green. Rolling pin by Susan White. Egg cup by Monica Henry. Measuring jug, Susan White. Kitchen scales by Charisse. Got a milk carton by Susan White. A tea bag by Monica Henry. A spatula by Susan White. Oven mitt, also by Susan. Coffee pot by Kerry. A teacup by Monica. Cottage by Charisse, which is really cute. Windmill by Sarah. Tent by Susan White. Campfire, also by Susan White. Beach Huts by Kerry. Lighthouse by Kitty. Canoe by Susan White. Sailboat by Kitty. Palm Tree by Sarah. Cactus by Joanne. Strawberry by Lindsay. Lemon by Susan. Grapefruit by Cherie. Pineapple by Christy. Christy. Apple by Susan. Pear by Lindsay. I've just realised I should have been doing this from the start. Way easier. Watermelon by Lindsay. Cherry by Susan. Sewing Machine by Cherie. Vintage Iron by Cherie. That iron fabric, that's cool. Thread Spool by Cherie. Scissors, also Cherie. Book by Monica. Radio by Kerry. A hat by Cherie. High Heels, also Cherie. Purse, also Cherie. Music Notes by Kerry Green. Camera, Cherie. Retrophone, also Cherie. And that gets us to the end of the 100 available patterns. Sorry, I've realised I've probably spent the best part of 10 minutes just telling you what patterns are available. However, thank you if you have made it this far. You can probably tell my rating of this book in general is like 10 out of 10. Absolutely amazing, really easy for beginners, but equally easy if you're anyone else. It's got a good variety of all various different types of pattern. Like, there is genuinely something for everyone in there. The only thing I would say I'd quite like would be a difficulty rating, because... Sorry, I knocked everything off the side there. Because, like, with their crochet things, you tend to get a, like, easy, medium, hard. I would have quite liked that for this, because some were definitely easier than others. So it would have been quite nice to have, like, this is a really good one for beginners because it's only done in one piece, or it's done fairly easily. Because with paper piecing, sometimes you can't make 6 or 7 little bits and then have to sew them together, which, when you very first do it, can be a little complicated. So that would be my only, like, wish for it. You know, it is a really good book. Absolutely recommend. I need to try making some other projects with it. But let me know what you think. Is there anything you think would be really cool to try in there? Is there anything that you think, I'm not convinced I'd need a quilted vintage iron, or something like that? Or are you sat there going, Romilly, I can think of a million reasons for a quilted vintage iron. Don't be daft. Either way, let me know. Remember to hydrate, we are in summer. And remember sun cream, we are also in summer. And with that, thank you for watching, and see you next time, which hopefully will not be a full year away this time. Bye!